Remember, they're changing my voice. I mean, who among you doesn't know that Christ wasn't white? Who among you doesn't know that um, the churches came after the Council of Nicaea and compiled a Bible for the purpose of white supremacy? Who among you doesn't know that the wise man must question if there was ever a Jesus in Rome in the first place? Why would we just simply brush aside the idea of the Royal African Falcon top martial artist when there's so much evidence that God's son is of African descent? Again, I'm not a racial supremacist, I'm a moral supremacist. I've said it many, 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 many times. After I'm gone, there will be no valid representative of God, no valid way to serve God. That will be that. I'm a moral supremacist, okay? And there's no moral way to live. So we see, with Martin Luther King, we see with the Lion King movie, the Black Panther movie, right? Tony Stark's is different than the Black Panther. Spider-Man is different than the idea of the Black Panther. So why did the comic book guys choose these personalities, these characteristics? Because they try to base it on reality to some degree, right? Cocky Batman, cocky Iron Man, kind of rich fools, nerdy Spider-Man, kind of rough around the edges, Wolverine, kind of cocky, cop-like, Cyclops, and so on and so forth. None of these people have really transcendent and natural and supernatural kind of characteristics. Neither does any European royal you've ever heard of. Name one if you think I'm wrong. Not any president. It just does not exist in the history of Western history, in the history of white supremacy. They've never pointed to a single person who seemed divine who was white. And the Bible says you do not pick, figs from thistles or grapes from thorn bushes. Okay, and it talks about the child being the fruit of the womb. Okay, so you know them by their fruit, partly by their families. And the fruit of the evil tribe includes Martin Luther King. And Nigerians are the closest in resemblance to the Lion King of all Africans and islanders and people around the world. There's people go out their dreads and they do this and that, including other Nigerians who aren't the top martial artists ever, and they're not that, right? As they say, Nigerians are blacker than black, they're blue-black. But again, I don't care if they're midnight black. I don't care if black people were white and white people were black. The bottom line is characteristics, and character shows that I am the Son of God. Why should pay the laborer is worthy of his hire, pay the worker his wages? The wages of being the most righteous person ever is being the King of Kings, the most righteous person ever possible. It says right there in Proverbs 16:12, and I'd love to hear if you interpret it differently, that kings detest wrongdoing, for a throne is established through righteousness. New Living Translation, justice. Okay, so kings detest wrongdoing, and what is more of a wrongdoing than cheat me out of my rightful place when I'm the King of Kings? Straightforward. And we see groups of whites, Jews, LGBT people, token minorities, military police, you name it, coming together to cheat me out of my rightful place, which overkills that they are far from having the characteristics, the spirit, the kind of people-based essence to be taken seriously. I mean, the fact that they're capable of doing this and they're doing this means that when everyone looks at them, they must see that in them. They must see that submission to evil, that conformity, that worldliness in them. And yes, I hold it against people for not seeing it in them. It's like not seeing a brick wall and walking into it over and over again when, you know how to drive, you tie your shoes, you got degrees, you have no reason to keep doing that. It's just your selfishness causes you to keep doing that.